Canada is not broken.
And nobody believes you.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Cypher.
And I'm Fox. Before we get started, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video.
So as expected, the political counterpunching has begun following the announcement of David Johnston as the special rapporteur for Trudeau's election interference investigation. So let's hear what everyone had to say.
Do you trust David Johnston can do his job as special rapporteur, and will you accept what he decides should be done?
I've said, and I maintain that Mr. Johnston is someone of strong reputation, of integrity, and he is someone that's independent and nonpartisan. And so I certainly trust him to do his work. I want to make sure that his mandate includes all the information important to assess what the Prime Minister knew, when the Prime Minister knew that information, and what he did about it. And that it includes really important recommendations about what we need to do to safeguard our democracy. But despite all that, I still maintain that we need a public inquiry because Canadians need to have confidence in our elections. And like I said, there's really important questions in front of us about affordability, about our healthcare system, about how we build a healthcare system that's there for everyone, how we hire enough healthcare workers and respect those workers. These are very important questions that Canadians should have full confidence their vote matters. And that's why restoring confidence in our electoral system is so important, so people continue to participate and so that their votes are reflected in decisions that actually improve their quality of life and respond to the problems that they're faced with.
I know a lot of you say in the comments that you want to barf whenever you hear JT speak. That's exactly how I feel whenever I hear Jagmeet speak. The guy's a total slime ball. He has no spine. He tries to play both sides. There's not an original thought in his head. I cannot stand the guy. He makes my skin crawl. In this case, he's saying, oh yeah, David Johnston, you know, he's a good, honorable guy, which he might be. I don't really know him. He could be a good guy. But he's also saying that he's impartial and that he's nonpartisan. I don't really think so if he's a family friend of the Trudeaus. And then he says, oh, but, you know, despite me being happy with the rapporteur, you know, I still want a public inquiry. Like, he's trying to appeal to both sides. He's trying to appeal to the Liberals who want this special investigation by David Johnston. And he's also trying to appeal to those of us that are pissed off and want an open and free investigation. Like, you can't have it both ways. Pick a side, man.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be some backroom handshaking going on again between Singh and Trudeau. My guess is that Trudeau has offered Singh something on the table in terms of legislation or something that he can turn around to the NDP supporters and say, see, I got us a win, in return for his somewhat supportive statements of David Johnston. That way, it's really only going to be Trudeau against the Conservatives, which is a lot easier to fight than both the Conservatives and the NDP, since the NDP are leaning to the same side of the political spectrum as the Liberals. But it's definitely talking out of both sides of his mouth, and it's pretty ridiculous. You know, having said all that, I still want an open inquiry. Okay, so then what do you want? You either support Justin naming anyone as a special rapporteur. Doesn't matter if it's David Johnston. Doesn't matter if it's Mother Teresa. Doesn't matter, you know, if it's your mom. You either support that or you don't. So, you know, get off the fence, buddy. Anyway, that's Mr. Singh. Let's hear what Mr. Trudeau has had to say about it, since there's been some shots fired already.
David Johnston has served this country in many, many different ways through a long and unimpeachable career. He served as our Governor General. He has served in many capacities, and the integrity and the character that he has demonstrated every step of the way is absolutely unimpeachable. When we are looking to someone who will always put the country first and put the interests of Canadians at the core of everything he does, there is no better name than David Johnston. which makes it so astonishing, but also so clarifying to see the Conservative Party simply not interested in actually getting answers, in actually reassuring Canadians about our democracy, and actually finding out the truth of what's going on from experts.
Okay, sorry. I was going to let it play the whole time, but I have to stop it there. I really do. The Conservatives are not interested in getting answers. Really, this is the angle you're going to play it, JT. Now it's the Conservatives' fault. You're playing this as if you can't understand at all why anybody would have a problem with this guy. He served on many in many aspects of the country. You forgot one aspect that he served. He served you drinks probably at his cottage because he's such a close family friend. But, let's not get into that. So, this guy, he was working for the organization that received the $200,000 from China. Conflict of interest. End of story. But this is also coming from the guy who doesn't know what a conflict of interest is because he didn't recuse himself during the whole We scandal.
Canada is not broken.
Nobody believes you.
Unfortunately, this is expected. Oh, the Conservatives don't want to get to the truth. Yeah, they want to get to the truth. They want to get to the truth, not the polished and manipulated truth that is going to come out of this silly report.
We all just want to know what happened, and we want people held to account. I think the Conservatives are behind that. They don't want to deal with this special rapporteur BS.
They are engaging in horrific, partisan attacks against a man of extraordinary integrity. And if everyone needed a really clear indication that partisanship is more important to Conservatives than actual facts and reality, their completely unfounded attacks on David Johnston are exactly that.
Okay, so I want everyone to be sitting down. I want you to be in a nice, calm place because we're about to show you the horrific attacks that have been going on. So this is your safe space trigger warning to be prepared. Have your comfort animals, get to your happy space.
Wrap yourself in bubble wrap.
Yeah, here comes the horrific attacks. So this is your warning. You can't say I didn't warn you. Brace yourself.
English. It's Justin Trudeau that is hurting Canadians' faith in our democracy by covering up the interference by the communist Chinese government in our elections. He's known about it since at least 2017, 6 years ago, when he began getting detailed briefings of this interference. He covered it up. He did absolutely nothing to protect our Chinese community against intimidation and our elections against foreign manipulation. Still, he covers it up, fighting against an open public inquiry. We really have to wonder, what is it that he has to hide? And it is Justin Trudeau that has put Mr. Johnston in this terrible situation by naming a member of the China-financed Trudeau Foundation to perform this role of looking into Beijing's interference in our election campaigns. That was Justin Trudeau's error in judgment. And all of this points to him covering up the truth because he's afraid that Canadians will find out how he failed to stand up for our interests and instead stood up for his own.
Okay, so that's your breather. So we'll pause there for a minute just so you can, collect yourself. Maybe wipe the sweat from your brow that no doubt has taken place. And now we're going to put the next and most malicious and horrific attack up on screen. I will read it, so you do not have to be subjected to seeing this. So this is a tweet from Pierre Poilievre. Justin Trudeau has named a quote-unquote family friend, old neighbor from the cottage and member of the Beijing-funded Trudeau Foundation to be the independent, quote-unquote, rapporteur on Beijing's interference. Get real. Trudeau must end this cover-up. Call a public inquiry. This tweet has been what has been cited in the left-leaning media as the horrific attack that Justin is speaking of. You know, when I think of horrific, I think of soldiers giving their lives on Normandy Beach, having their arms blown off, having their comrades die in front of them. That's horrific to me. But apparently, stating facts, which is what this is, and then telling somebody to get real, apparently that's a horrific attack. So, poor choice of words, Justin. I think that's going to come back and bite you.
I take particular issue with this statement that this was a horrible attack. Not just when Justin says it, but also when, other left-leaning people say it. Because when you use a strong word like that for something that it's mild, like, let's be real, it's mild. You might not like it, but it's not violent. It's not horrible. But when you say that these words are violent or horrible or what have you, you're really stripping the meaning from those words. And I take issue with that.
Well, this is what the left does. They commandeer language and they redefine words and they make them suit their own agenda regardless of their true meaning. And these words are just to influence people that aren't willing to actually look and see what's going on. And they will just regard Pierre as this horrible person and the Conservatives as horrible people. Well, Justin said they're launching horrific attacks. That must be completely awful because they're counting on people not fact-checking any of this.
Well, and the problem is the last few weeks since we've started doing this commentary about the election interference and the special rapporteur and everything that's associated with it, I've been speaking with family, I've been speaking with friends, I was even speaking with my hairdresser the other day, and nobody has bothered to read the news. Nobody knows what's going on. And then the odd person I talk to that does just hears the left spin that's been put on it.
Well, because there is no mainstream conservative-leaning media that is on television.
Well, and we are conservative-leaning. Like, you can see it right on our screen here with the Pierre badge. Like, we don't try to hide it. We are conservative leaning, but at the same time, if Pierre does something stupid, we're going to call it out. We're going to say it's stupid.
Over the last 10 years, I would say, it's the conservative leaning mentality that is really talking common sense in this country and trying to save us from the eradication of free speech and the eradication of digital freedom and the eradication of, from what we're seeing, the hijacking of our language to suit political purposes. So this is going to unfold. Fox and I are really looking forward to Monday, question period, because question period resumes. And I can't wait to see the exchange that goes on between Pierre and Justin. It's going to be something to see. So buckle up and stay tuned.